friends. 24th of November, 1971. In America, a Northwest Orient Airlines flight took off from Portland. This is a small 30-minute flight to Seattle City nearby. Not many passengers were on this flight. It was carrying only 36 passengers and 6 crew members. But these passengers were unaware that a hijacker was present on this flight, a man named D.B. Cooper. The hijacker looked like a normal businessman. He was dressed like that. A business suit, white shirt, and black pants. He must have been in his mid-40s. He intentionally sat in the last row of the plane. Seat number 18E. As soon as the plane took off, this guy introduced himself to an air hostess. He mentions his name, Dan Cooper. The hostess's name was Florence Schaffner, and with big smile, he handed a note to the air hostess. Schaffner was a 23-year-old woman who thought that this man was trying to flirt with her. So, she took that note and kept it with her without reading it. Seeing this, Cooper told her that she should read the note. He said that he had a bomb. When Schaffner opened the note, it was clearly written in neat handwriting, "Miss, I have a bomb in my briefcase, and I want you to sit by me." Schaffner quietly sat next to Cooper, but she still couldn't believe that he actually had a bomb. So Cooper opened his suitcase to show it to her. Some red cylinders, wires, and a big cylindrical battery were in the suitcase. There was no doubt that it was a bomb. Cooper made his demands to the air hostess. He wanted $200,000 by 5 p.m. that evening. That too in cash. He wanted all that cash in a bag, along with 2 parachutes in the back and 2 parachutes in the front. When they eventually landed, he wanted to have a fuel truck ready to refuel the plane. He warned her against trying anything strange, threatening to blow up the plane otherwise. The other passengers on the plane were unaware of this, and air hostess Schaffner didn't want the other passengers to know. She quietly went into the cockpit and showed Cooper's note to the pilots. Another air hostess, Tina Mucklow, was informed about this, and she sat beside Cooper. With the help of these 2 air hostesses, the contact between the plane's cockpit and Cooper could be maintained. The pilots informed the air traffic controller, and soon the news reached the president of the airline, Donald Nierop. He was the decision maker, and he made an interesting decision. He told the staff to ensure full compliance with Cooper's demands, to fulfill all demands made by this hijacker. After coordinating with the FBI, he talked to a Seattle bank to arrange the money. The bank had a huge bundle of money for such emergencies. But there was something special about this bundle of money. But you must be wondering why the airline's president decided to cooperate with the hijacker. The reason behind this was reputation. The airline's president didn't want the news of the hijack to spread all over the world, leading to heavy losses for his company. So, to keep this issue under wraps, he was willing to fulfill the demands of the hijacker. The only problem was that they needed some time to arrange the money, but this flight was only supposed to be half an hour long. So the pilots were told that instead of landing the plane, they were to keep circling around Seattle until they could arrange the money on the ground. This half-hour flight gradually became 3 hours long. Passengers were still unaware of what was happening. Flight pilots announced that they were facing minor technical difficulties, causing the delay. The other passengers believed this. Finally, this flight landed at Seattle's airport at 5:46 p.m. According to Cooper's instructions, the plane was parked far from the main terminal building. One airline representative approached the plane with a bag of money and the parachutes. When the 4 parachutes and the bag of money was given to Cooper, he allowed the passengers and flight attendants to leave the plane, except Tina Mucklow. After this, according to the plan, the plane was refueled, and it takes off again. This time, only the pilots were on the plane, along with Cooper and Tina. Cooper started giving instructions to the pilots again. For the destination of the flight, the speed of the flight, down to the very angle. He directs them to fly the plane towards Mexico City, at an altitude of 10,000 feet in the air, with the wings positioned at 15 degrees. As for the plane's speed, he wanted to fly as slow as possible. The pilots told Cooper that flying with these configurations would make it difficult for them to reach Mexico City. because there wasn't enough fuel in the plane, but Cooper was not worried about it. Cooper told them to fly as he directed. A few minutes later, a warning light flashed in the cockpit, indicating that the rear staircase had been deployed. This was a unique feature in these planes back then. Boeing 727 planes had an aft staircase at the back. In the photos, you can see how the stairs deployed from the back. Cooper deployed these stairs and jumped out with the parachutes and the money. The pilots and the air hostesses did not see this happening because they were locked in the cockpit, and back then there was no hole on the cockpit door through which they could see outside. After this, the pilots flew the plane to Nevada and landed in the city of Reno. The police were informed and they investigated the plane. They found some personal items belonging to Cooper, like the cigarettes he was smoking on the plane. Smoking was allowed in aeroplanes back then. But the suitcase that had the bomb, the bag of money, and the parachutes were all missing, like Cooper. From that day, the FBI started its investigation to find Cooper, but no trace of Cooper was found. This investigation went on for 45 years. It was officially closed in 2016, but the answers to many questions are still unanswered. This is the only hijack in history that no one has been able to solve. One of the greatest mysteries for the FBI. Who was Cooper? What happened to him? Thanks for watching. For more interesting stories, subscribe our channel.